When I realized my mom never loved me, I think the moment I truly realized my mom never loved me was sometime after I turned 8. That's when everything changed. She became obsessed with weight. I don't mean she started eating healthy or working out. I mean every day began with her making us step on the scale twice, just in case the first number was wrong. Then she'd line up me and my older sister, Chloe. If either of us gained even half a pound, she'd take away privileges: no cartoons, no playtime, no dessert. Her rule was simple. The heavier you were, the less love you deserved. I couldn't handle the constant hunger, so I started sneaking crackers into the bathroom just to feel full. But Chloe? She turned herself into mom's little trophy. She'd do jumping jacks for hours at night, from 8 to 10 p.m. She'd chew food for the taste and then spit it into napkins, hiding them behind radiators at school. It was disturbing. But mom didn't just allow it. She rewarded it. When Chloe hit 65 pounds at age 12, mom took her on a $2,000 shopping spree. Tiny designer jeans, crop tops to flaunt her ribs, and anything she wanted. Look at your sister, mom would say, pinching my stomach. She understands beauty takes sacrifice. I tried to win her love another way. I brought home straight A's. I cleaned the entire house every morning. I won science fairs. But it didn't matter. You should use all that energy to fix your diet, she'd say flatly. I knew something was wrong. I knew this wasn't normal. But whenever I tried to tell anyone, they'd just gush about mom's perfect figure and tell me I should listen to her. So I started gaslighting myself. Until I turned 13. That's when I found Chloe passed out in the hallway with an empty bottle of mom's prescription diet pills. My hands shook as I dialed 911. I rolled her onto her side, trying to help her breathe. Her lips moved and I leaned in. I just wanted to lose 5 more pounds. For mom's birthday. She survived. But when she woke up in the hospital, the first thing she asked was, "Do I look skinnier?" That's when I knew I'd already lost my sister. From then on, I started playing along. I skipped breakfast and dinner. I sucked in my stomach whenever mom was around, just to avoid the screaming. But then my dad came home. He'd been working overseas for years. And almost as soon as he got back, he filed for divorce in full custody. Mom fought back hard. But not even she could explain the condition we were in, me and Chloe. The medical records said it all. I moved in with dad. Slowly, I started eating normally again, but Chloe, she told the court she wanted to stay with mom. By the time I hit senior year, I was doing okay. I played volleyball. I could enjoy food again. Then I turned 18. Dad asked if I wanted to visit mom and Chloe for my birthday. I hesitated, but agreed. I wore baggy clothes to avoid any comments, but nothing could have prepared me for what I saw. Chloe answered the door and I froze. She looked like a ghost: thin, sunken cheeks, patches of missing hair. "Oh my God, Chloe. What the hell?" She blinked at me and said, "You've gotten so effing huge." Before I could respond, mom appeared. "What have you done to yourself?" she shrieked, grabbing at my waist. "You were finally making progress and now you're disgusting." I tried to leave, but she blocked the door. "You're not going anywhere until you drink this," she said, waving one of her meal replacement shakes. "You need to get back on track." When I refused, she tried to force it down my throat. Chloe held my arms while mom pried at my mouth. The smell made me gag. I screamed, thrashed, and finally broke free and ran to the bathroom and locked the door while calling dad. Mom pounded on the door. "You're choosing to be ugly," she screamed. "You're spitting on everything I taught you." By the time the police showed up, I'd vomited from the stress and whatever chemical junk had gotten in my mouth. One officer took one look at Chloe and called paramedics for her too. As they wheeled her away, she grabbed my hand, whispered, "She made me take laxatives this morning too." Outside, mom was putting on a show, shouting at the officers about her parental rights, waving documents in the air. I climbed into the ambulance with Chloe. The EMT's face tightened as he read her vitals. Dangerous bradycardia. Her heart was barely functioning. My phone buzzed. It was mom. "You're destroying our family," the message read. "How could you do this to us?" At the hospital, mom burst in screaming about her medical authority. But dad had come prepared. He held up papers. "I filed emergency custody this morning. A judge signed off an hour ago." Mom's face went white. That should have been the end, but it wasn't. The hospital social worker, Sarah, took one look at me and asked, "Why weren't you in contact with your sister for 3 years?" I explained about the custody battle, about the restrictions. But Sarah just kept writing in her clipboard. Mom jumped in. She abandoned us. Now she's back and causing chaos. Then the nurse came. "We need to start treatment." Who's making medical decisions? While they argued, I had to choose. Give a police statement or stay by Chloe's side. Mom was already feeding lies to the staff. "My younger daughter has a history of violence," she said, showing texts I'd sent when I was 13. Old, angry texts like, "I hate you so much I could unalive you." The nurse typed up a note. I saw it on the screen. "Sister exhibits anger issues toward mother." It got worse. Mom's lawyer arrived, and with him, proof she had full medical authority. A document filed one day before dad got back from overseas. One day before he filed for divorce. She'd planned everything. Soon, I was locked out of the hospital. Mom got a restraining order against me, saying I was unstable, a danger to Chloe's recovery. I couldn't even be in the same building. She even convinced my old volleyball coach to call me. "She's really worried," he said. "Maybe you should all do family therapy." She was poisoning everyone against me. Then mom gave an interview on the local news, painting herself as the victim of a troubled daughter. There was no mention of the expired shakes or the abuse. Just crocodile tears and fake concern. It was working. Even my college put me on academic probation after receiving anonymous concerns. Then I remembered mom's estranged sister, Anne. I found her online and sent a message. "I need to know what happened between you and my mother." Anne's response was immediate. "I've been waiting years for someone to ask." She showed me old diary entries, describing the same forced diets, the pills, the emotional manipulation. She had photos of herself in high school, emaciated, standing next to their mother who smiled proudly. She kept those pictures as trophies and said, "And when our mom died, your mother kept the pills." The same pills I'd seen in the evidence bag. This was generational. The next day, I saw mom at the hospital parking lot. I tried to record her. She saw the phone and immediately turned on the waterworks. Why are you doing this to us? She cried. Haven't you heard us enough? People stared. She was perfect. Believable. Later that day, the court granted her temporary restraining order. She'd won again. Until something changed. Madison, Chloe's friend, showed up at Dad's door. Your mom's lawyer isn't my boyfriend, she said. He was spying on me. Your mom paid him. She showed us a signed NDA. Legally binding. Mom had planted a spy in Chloe's circle. Later, I saw Mom in a cafe, meeting a woman I didn't recognize. Papers were exchanged. An envelope of cash changed hands. The barista said Mom came there often, always meeting people. Always with documents. When I told Dad, he got a call from his bank. A flag transaction. Mom wasn't just destroying us emotionally anymore. She was dismantling us financially. But I wasn't afraid of her anymore. Not really. Because now I understood the truth. She had built a fortress of lies and image. A network of enablers. And a narrative where she was always the victim. But I had something she didn't, the truth. Proof. Witnesses. A sister barely holding on. The war wasn't over. It was just beginning. And this time, I wasn't fighting alone. Dad slumped into the kitchen chair, pale and shaking. She tried to drain me, he whispered. His bank called because someone had attempted to access his accounts using old security questions. His mother's maiden name. His childhood pet. Things only Mom would know. It wasn't random. It was deliberate. We spent that night locking everything down. New passwords. Alerts to every credit bureau. Still, the damage crept in like poison. His cards stopped working. His accounts were frozen. Some, Mom had reported them stolen. One by one, she was cutting off our ability to fight. No lawyers. No defense. Just isolation. The next day, Sarah, the hospital social worker, called. She sounded nervous, said she had concerns about Chloe's care but couldn't speak over the phone. We met at a diner across town, her eyes scanning the room like she was being watched. She slid a manila folder across the table. I shouldn't be showing you this, but something's wrong. Inside were Chloe's intake forms. Multiple versions. Same date, different information. Different weights. Different timelines. Different emergency contacts. All signed by Mom. She keeps rewriting the story, Sarah said. Like she's testing which version gets the most attention. On the last form, the one that got Chloe admitted to the ICU. Mom blamed everything on my recent visit. Then Sarah showed me her phone. Dozens of photos of Mom at the hospital gift shop, buying elaborate flowers, teddy bears, chocolates. Hundreds of dollars worth. But they never reach Chloe, she said. She gives them to the nurses. The administrators, with little handwritten cards. Mom was buying loyalty. Creating the illusion of a doting, heartbroken mother. No wonder the hospital staff treated her like royalty. She's not just manipulating the system, Sarah said. She's orchestrating it. I asked if she'd testify. She hesitated. She already filed a complaint about me. One more, and I'm gone. Another a lie. Silenced. That night, I couldn't sleep. I needed to reach Chloe, just one word. Some sign she knew I was fighting for her. Then I remembered. The shared email account we used as kids. We'd write stories together, trading turns in the drafts folder. Mom never knew about it. I logged in using our childhood password. The inbox was empty. But in the drafts folder, a message from Chloe. Dated yesterday. I know you're trying to help. Mom says you're sick. But I remember the pills. You saved me. She's giving me more. She says they're vitamins, but they make me feel worse. I'm scared. Please don't stop. My heart shattered. I started typing back. Telling her we were fighting for custody. That she wasn't alone. But before I could finish, the screen flickered. Logged out. The password had changed. Mom found it. And now she had proof that I violated the restraining order. Even digital contact was forbidden. Sure enough, the next morning Dad's lawyer called. Mom had filed an emergency motion accusing me of cyberstalking Chloe. She wanted criminal charges filed. The hearing was tomorrow. We needed character witnesses. But when we started reaching out, every well was already poisoned. My college advisor said she'd received troubling reports. Old volleyball teammates said they were warned to stay away. Even the manager at my old summer job said someone had called, asking if I had a history of customer violence. None of it was true. But it didn't matter. No one wanted to get involved. Desperate, I reached out to someone Mom might have overlooked. My high school chemistry teacher, Mr. Peterson. He was retired now, living by the coast. I always wondered about your home, he said. She fooled us all. He agreed to write a statement. But warned it might not be enough then. Just before midnight, my phone rang. Unknown number. Is this Chloe's sister? Who is this? My name's Jake. I'm a night nurse. I need to talk to you. It's urgent. We met at a 24-hour diner. He looked exhausted. Nervous. He slid his phone across the table. Photos. Chloe's med charts. Dosages way too high for her weight. Meds that require food being given on an empty stomach. Your mom insists on being there when Chloe gets her meds. Says she needs encouragement. But I've seen her, adding powders. Crushing pills into her juice. He showed me a photo of her purse, random loose pills, no bottles. He'd pocketed one and planned to get it tested. She says they're vitamins. But those aren't vitamins. Your sister, her body can't process this stuff. She's dying. Could you testify? I asked. No, if she finds out, I'm done. But I'll give you everything I have. Before we left, he stopped me. One more thing. She's trying to move Chloe. Says it's a special clinic in Arizona. But I looked it up. It doesn't exist. My blood ran cold. She was going to make Chloe disappear. The next morning, the courtroom was packed. Mom sat surrounded by supporters. Pilates friends. Our old coach. Even the reporter who interviewed her. They smiled at her. Protected her. Madison was there too. She wouldn't meet my eyes. Judge Winters entered. Stern. No nonsense. Same judge from our original custody hearing. Mom's lawyer presented their evidence. The edited recordings. The email contact. Statements from concerned citizens. Then it was our turn. Anne's testimony. Expired diet shakes. Jake's medication documentation. The judge frowned. Most of this is hearsay, illegally obtained. Did you access your mother's email without permission? She asked. I opened my mouth. But our lawyer stopped me. Then just as she was about to rule, the doors burst open. Sarah, the social worker, rushed in. Your Honor, I have evidence. Urgent. She handed over Chloe's updated medical reports. Refeeding syndrome. Unapproved substances. And security footage of mom crushing pills into Chloe's feeding tube. Chaos erupted. That's a lie. Mom screamed. You don't understand. She'll get fat. Judge Winter stood. Bailiff. Take her into custody. Now. Mom tried to run, but the bailiffs were waiting. Once Mom was gone, Madison stepped forward. I recorded her, she said quietly. The lawyer. Coaching me. I couldn't stay silent anymore. The judge dismissed the restraining order. Transferred full custody to Dad. Ordered Child Protective Services to intervene immediately. I was allowed to see Chloe. She looked like a ghost. Is Mom coming? She whispered. No, I said softly. Did I do something wrong? Did I gain weight? No, sweetie, you didn't do anything wrong, she cried in my arms. The pills Jake had smuggled? Banned in 2016. The same substance linked to multiple deaths at a Nevada weight loss clinic. Police searched Mom's house. Stockpiles of expired products. Journals. Formulas. Anne came forward publicly. Others followed. Even the Pilates friends distanced themselves. Mom's mask had shattered. Chloe was transferred to a recovery center. The best in the region. Dad used his last savings. Aunt Julie helped. We crowdfunded what we could. Chloe began to heal. Very slowly. 6 months later. Mom took a plea deal. 8 to 12 years. No contact with Chloe until she turns 25 and only if Chloe wants it. We didn't go to the sentencing. Instead, we spent that day with Chloe. Playing cards. Eating sandwiches. Laughing. She still has nightmares. Still checks her weight obsessively some days. But she's healing. The greatest gift? One afternoon during family therapy, Chloe looked at me and whispered, I knew the pills were killing me. But I took them anyway, because dying was the only time she looked at me like I mattered. That's what we were fighting against all along. Not just abuse, but the lie that love must be earned through pain. For anyone who's ever been gaslit by a parent who's been told their pain wasn't real, this story is for you. You are not alone. You deserve to be safe. You deserve to be free.